Welcome to the PT made by Moni and Mudita, and this is our initial sketch/inspiration. So, Phnom Penh's traffic congestion is a serious problem that threatens the environment, public health, economy, and general quality of life in the city. After banning motorcycles and calling for solutions by Ministry of Transportation, SkyTook, an electric personal vehicle system, was invented to transform urban transport in Phnom Penh. Our design idea is that SkyTook will be made of light tracks raised above the ground level along the city's existing structures so as to minimize land acquisition. On these tracks, self-driven pods will be moving with a capacity of 2 passengers each. The system offers safety as well as efficiency since passengers can use their mobile phones to call pods, which will move from one point to another without any human interaction. Our main purpose is that it will help free roads up from traffic jams and use vertical space. It requires less environmental degradation during construction and maintenance. It increases safety levels while removing the need for personal steering. Passengers can minimize waiting time and enhance travel efficiency by signaling their need for transportation through an app. And to reduce carbon emissions, SkyTook shall draw energy from solar panels embedded within the track network, which promotes clean energy use. It is an above-ground vehicle. Our main features is that it can be expanded easily, is effective, and does not interfere much with the current structure of our towns. This technology does not require any human being to operate it, then cases of crashing might reduce significantly. This vehicle cuts down the release of gases, and people no longer need to wait for buses, which might delay picking them up from points where they stay since SkyTooks are always available whenever one needs to be taken. Moving on to our design process, first we had to draw out the base of our model on the XY plane before we could design it. Next, we looked up circle using create drop-down list. We dragged and produced a circle within a diameter of 50 mm using the circle tool, much like the example image. Then, using the construct lab, we made an offset plane and positioned it 30 mm above the circle. We then drew another circle on the plane we had just made, but this time it had a diameter of 90 mm, which was significantly bigger than the first one. From this point on, we have joined the 2 circles we have made using the loft tool. At this point, we have a trapezoid-like circular base. Next, we've used the sphere tool in the create menu to construct a 15 mm diameter sphere. Following that, we were able to find a sphere on the base we had just modeled, lower face. We used the chamfer tool in the modify tab to better adjust our base, setting the values to 5 mm for both the circular faces borders. As for the structure, 3 rings will serve as the overall framework for the entire vehicle. We only made another offset plane that was 40 mm from its origin point to the left in order to sketch the first ring. We next drew 2 circles with diameters of 80 mm and 90 mm on another sketch that we first made on the plane. Next, we have extruded the surface in between our drew circles using the extrude tool. 5 mm was the extrude distance set. Now, the shape of a conventional ring had been developed. Once more, we decided to use the chamfer tool to polish the ring and have both edges set to 3 mm. The edges appear more polished, like a ring in this fashion. Next, we used the move/copy tool to simply copy and paste the first ring that we had modeled on the opposite side of the base. We have chosen to make another offset plane to draw the arc in order to model our third ring. The 2 arcs, each having a radius of 41 mm and 38 mm, were drawn correctly. And that's all for the structure. Next, we utilized the box tool to generate another sketch on the base's face in order to depict the control stick. Next, we've extruded the shape to create a real 3D rectangle by using the extrude tool. Additionally, we have chosen to use the sketch and extrude to create a little rectangle on the rear side of the control stick. We drew and extruded some circles to incorporate them into the control stick's design by making additional doodles on the rectangle surface. The inner circle was then extruded upward to serve as the stick. Subsequently, we drew another rectangle on the stick's surface using another sketch. We used the chamfer to further polish the rectangle. As for our seats, we decided to design a simple log-shaped chair for our passengers. Firstly, using the rectangle line tool in the Create panel, we created two small rectangular sketches, one on the left and one on the right of the control area. The seats are not directly in front of the control area because we intended it to be a self-driving vehicle, which will mainly be operating on autopilot. Okay, moving on. Then we used the fillet tool to round every seat corner and edges for a cleaner look. Lastly, we used the extrude tool to extrude both rectangles by around 5 millimeters. And just like that, our interior is done. Now for the exterior, which pulls our design together, our model's final component is a glass wall that envelops the entire car. We had to first make the sphere and then use the shell tool to hollow it out in order to produce a hollow sphere. Then, we positioned it to cover the entire vehicle after adjusting its physical substance to glass. Using the circle feature of the Create tool, we have drawn 9 circles in total at the base's bottom face. The circles were then extruded to resemble pipes using the extrude tool. These pipes will serve as the vehicle's combustion chamber, enabling it to soak through the air. And that'll be all for our vehicle. And this is our time-lapse video.